Yoga Hosers is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Hey, Yoga Hosers?
Yeah, it's Kevin Smith's movie. His spiritual sequel to Tusk.
Are you talking about Yoga Hosers?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I started trying to watch it today.
Oh, God, is it awful?
Yes.
It's horrendous.
It's like weaponized awful.
Wow.
Worse than Christmas with the Kranks?
That's the best description I've ever heard.
It's like weaponized awful.
It's really, really, really bad.
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel.
I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast where my friends prevent me from casting Dan Aykroyd in a role that he's obviously not suited for, and instead force me to watch movies. This week, we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally-ho.
We have James Barrup.
I'm already defeated. I did nothing.
We've got Chris Arsenault.
And that's why James is going to be beaten by the Krampus.
And we have, as a special guest, Colin McMillan.
Brought to you by Blatant Consumerism.
Yes!
We make living an option.
And I am your host, Jonathan Barrup, and this week we've got a Christmas treat for you. It's a Christmas dog treat.
Okay.
But it's a Christmas treat.
We use the term treat quite loosely.
Yes. We're starting the month of December. We're going to be watching Christmas movies from now and what feels like the end of time, but really just the end of the month.
Just a couple more weeks.
Yep. And we have started off with a Christopher Columbus gem.
Oh, yeah.
A movie that means a lot to a lot of people and took everyone by storm when it was released in theater. That's right. We watched we watched Christmas with the Kranks.
Die Hard, please. Die Hard.
Why couldn't we have watched a real Christmas movie like RoboCop?
Yeah.
This movie was like half of two Christmas movies. It wasn't even like one movie.
No.
I'd rather watch Professor Cat Magnibus's Whamtastical Rumble Pump.
Well, of course.
It is a long-standing holiday tradition.
That's right. This broke my heart because, I mean, Christopher Columbus is the Christmas guy, you know?
Is he? What else has he done besides Home Alone?
Harry Potter.
Oh, shit.
It's not really Christmas.
Well, the first two.
Well, yeah, they had some definite Christmas.
There is a very kindly wizard with a long white beard. It's very Christmassy.
Yes, it is.
There's a section in the movie that's like super Christmassy.
Yes, there's also definitely a big Christmas part in the middle.
That's right. Yep.
There's also a Halloween part, but anyway.
No, just Christmas.
Yeah, he did the Home Alone movies. Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's Christmassy.
Wrote for Gremlins and the Goonies.
Gremlins takes place in Christmas?
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've never seen it, but...
Oh, my God.
I've also never seen Goonies.
He's responsible for a lot of movies.
Hey,
I'm not saying
guys.
good movies, but...
All right, Christmas with the Cranks. As is John Hates Movies tradition.
Well, give us the synopsis.
Oh, right.
Well,
I kind of got a little bit distracted because
this movie was so bad, it's just like sucker punched all of us in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we are totally discombobulated with how awful this movie was. I feel maybe.
It was bad.
I
I don't even think it deserves its extra half a star. So when Luther Crank and his wife opt to skip Christmas, no tree and no rooftop frosty, can they handle the fallout from their family and neighbors? Starring Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, and directed by Joe Roth.
Mm-hmm.
So, as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked this movie is the person who gets to review it first, and that would be Chris Arsenault.
Yup.
Chris, why, God, why?
If you're asking why, I would pick Christmas with the Kranks as part of our traditional Christmas movie reviews for December.
Uh-huh.
I will answer you this. It was readily available on Netflix.
Well, it's also kind of like last year where we start out Christmas movies with a Christmas movie that doesn't really feel all that Christmassy. Like last year we did Ernest Saves Christmas, and that barely felt like a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet it was infinitely more enjoyable than Christmas with the Kranks.
Yeah.
So I have a theory actually about why Chris chose this movie. And it's because he knew I was coming back and he wanted to freshly revitalize our feud. Because guess what? I'm mad at you for choosing this.
The beef is back.
Well,
the beef is back.
Well, Colin, while that's a very succinct and reasonable conclusion, you're wrong, because I put no forethought into you being here at all. Burn.
We're so in love with each other.
I acknowledge that.
All right, so I'll get into this. First off, I mean, I had seen this movie before, which you would think, like, well, if you've seen this movie, why in God's name would you pick? I don't remember it being as bad as it is. The one thing that just stands out the most about this movie, right, is, well, and this is overall, it definitely feels like this movie was made in 2004. And I suspect that the screenplay for it was probably originally written in 1994 and then got shelved.
It was based on a John Grisham novel that came out in 2001.
Wait,
really?
Yes.
What?
Yes, that
Grisham?
is a fact.
I still feel that I'm right. And to illustrate this further, when he decides that he is no longer going to, when they're skipping Christmas, right?
Yeah.
The first thing he does is write a memo on his computer, print it off, and hand it out to everyone.
Yeah, he didn't email it to everybody.
And I'm like,
I know.
As soon as he did that, I'm like, wait, when was this movie made? and it kind of sidelined me for half a minute. I'm like, that's really bizarre.
Well, no wonder he's not made partner yet, because he doesn't know how to
send a fucking email.
But also, we're talking about an entire office that is openly Christmas oriented.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not holiday oriented, but Christmas oriented, which you can't get away with anymore.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
So that was just one of those things that kind of kept flagging me the whole time I was watching. The other thing is, I kind of feel like, putting Tim Allen in Christmas movies was a 90s thing, It's just, I mean, along the lines with wanting to do things that they wish they could have done in the 90s. They had almost naked Jamie Lee Curtis. And let's face it, the last time that was appropriate was True Lies. The movie has, all those nice, things where those tropes where you have the grumpy neighbor that doesn't like the main character, but they get along in the end.
Yes.
Check one off. The lovable scamp neighbor who apparently is involved in every bit of mischief in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have the over-emboldened neighbor who is just there to help as long as he gets his way. And then when he gets his way, acts like it was the way it should have been the whole time. And of course, the main trope, we will do anything to make this holiday count because we're all going to be here as a family because our daughter's coming home. She had only been gone for like a fucking month.
Not barely.
Oh man,
left on Thanksgiving.
I can understand if like this was a year later, and because she was saying that was
later.
Right. It was literally weeks. What this movie seems to focus on the most is that, well, this is tradition. This is tradition. This is tradition. Everyone's doing this. How can you not?
Yes.
So it's trying to push the ideals of a community on a single individual, which I think we can apply to, a lot of the issues that we're having with minorities right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is Trump's America.
How I was gonna start my review.
This is also a very first term George W. Bush era movie.
Yep.
Like that. Yeah, this movie happened in that America as well.
Yeah. But okay. Anyway, so was this movie? Well, I'm not gonna ask it. Was this movie good yet? So I'm not gonna give an answer to that yet. the entire time, all this man wants is to enjoy his Christmas.
Yeah.
That's all he wants. And I understand his wife, she's used to doing all these very, very, traditional things, in the vein of pretty much almost every role since that Tim Allen has done. He doesn't, like almost every role he's done in the 2000s, he doesn't want to be involved with other people. He's like getting to become that aged person who doesn't want to know his neighbors, doesn't want to, and has only ever done it because of the people around
He's
him,
my dad.
right? His ideal, Christmas is either off somewhere where he can enjoy himself or home alone in his bunker, and that's what he wants. So we have almost a little bit of a Grinch thing going on that, he just wants to care about himself. But that's, here's the thing. He does not go out of his way to ruin Christmas for anyone. But everyone goes out of their way to ruin his Christmas.
Yes.
Just because in the end, in the very, very end, he gets that semblance
and
of
we're supposed
happy.
to be happy about it.
Yeah, we're supposed to be happy that the entire neighborhood won, that they got their traditional Christmas, even though this is exactly not what he wanted. Granted, the only thing that really is positive is that, like, he is happy in the end.
Did you notice in the beginning of the movie, Luther Crank is a guy that's constantly doing shit for everybody else, like always. And then the end of the movie, it's like him learning to finally do something for somebody else.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing.
This dude goes out in the freezing rain to get his wife fudge.
Every fucking thing in this is like people have assumptions of what they expect from you. And when you do not deliver on something that is not owed to you,
right,
they get outraged, which is hilariously almost more of that liberal entitlement. Not to make this political, but a lot of politics have been jumping around, and that was a funny joke. Well, anyway.
Oh, God, maybe you could stop being such a sensitive, whiny liberal. Maybe it's a safe space. God.
A whiny, special little snowflake. I mean,
I am a snowflake.
Well, I'm just saying, you can be a snowflake and you can be unique, but even yellow snow is unique.
Don't worry, John. When we're done with this episode, I'm going to send you a participation ribbon for being a part of that.
Thank you.
With a gold star.
I appreciate that. I'm going to take that and show that off at my holiday party. My non-denominational
and it will spend the rest of the year on the fridge.
My end of calendar seasonal appreciation gathering.
So, as you can tell, my biggest problem with this film is that there's all this like assumed entitlement by everyone, and I really feel for the guy. He's done the same thing over and over, and whether it was out of tradition or just, expectation, whatever it was, he has given a lot. He's, yearly done the decoration that apparently and it didn't clue in till the very end of the movie when
freaking gives $600 to the church.
Yeah.
And typically he spends $6,000 on Christmas each year.
Yeah. I'd love to be in a position where
that's a level of generosity that most of us can't even get to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if I spent $600 on a Christmas, I'm like breaking the bank kind of thing.
We're like sweating if we spend over $500.
I'm like, okay. I might be able to pay rent for January.
Hopefully my landlord's feeling generous too.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, it's not like the guy hasn't given and given and given. Now again, whether it's out of his heart, and I think a lot of it hasn't been. I think it's just out of tradition and expectation and somewhat, pestering from his wife. I'll give you that I don't think it was necessarily out of his own heart. And in a way, I think that is what they try to get at the end, that what he did at the end, giving the plane tickets and the trip to the grumpy neighbor that he doesn't necessarily like, and they agree to,
still not
respectfully not like each other, which I love. That's the best relationship to have.
That's the one part about
That's the one part of the movie that makes sense.
Right. So the one thing you can say is that he actually does learn to give from the heart rather than, he actually does what is unexpected, not expected, and not obligated.
Right.
Yes.
So is there like a hospital? Is there a hospital on this cruise ship? Because
probably not.
This woman, she's not well enough to cross the street to a fucking party, but we're gonna put her on the ocean for 2 weeks.
Hey, if you're gonna go out big.
Yeah, like
right.
is this?
And
is
honestly,
this,
I think that's what it was. Even from both sides, they acknowledge that like she might not have any more Christmases left, and it was genuinely one of those. Yes, maybe this isn't the best. Even she's like, I don't know if my doctor would want me doing this, but at that point, if you literally might have like a month or so left,
do something.
You might as well do something.
Okay, well then come to the fucking party.
That's
you know what they only
like,
were gonna go for the daughter. The daughter is young; she can cross the fucking road. That was my big deal with that. When as soon as she's like, "Oh, well, we're gonna stop by." How about Blair walks across the fucking road and says hi to the neighbors that apparently really like her?
Like, oh, where's Bev and her grouchy husband? Well, Bev is dying, so she couldn't come to the party.
That's
that
a shame.
sucks.
What a how dare she?
Yeah, well, she didn't need to be a bitch about it.
How selfish,
right?
Yeah.
The sad thing is, and obviously, I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure that's not the case. Probably nobody even mentioned it to her, but and that's neither here nor there. Let's forget about that. The point is, like, this movie is just it gets the idea behind Christmas wrong, or at least what I thought was about giving, not receiving, about doing stuff for others without the expectation of getting it back. And you never. I'm sorry. I've never had a Christmas where like I expected something from someone, and when I didn't get something, I was outraged.
Yeah.
Now, if I get something from someone, I'm ecstatic for like well, I get the thing. Then I'm like, fuck, I kind of should get them something. And here's my other thing. Here's my other thing with Christmas gift giving. I would rather not give you something than give you something that I feel is disingenuous. Like if I find something that I think is, oh my God, this speaks volumes and volumes about this person for me, I think they will appreciate it. I like to get something for someone that they will completely appreciate or nothing at all.
Explains why you've never given me anything, Chris.
I'm with you, Chris. I'm with you. I don't want to give or receive meaningless gifts.
But
if you just give me money.
Yeah, right. And I was going to say, so last year, like, what thing was for a lot of the, like, I didn't do a lot of gift giving last year, but like what I did do was gifts for a couple people that, like, I was able to find something perfect for them, and then like gift cards. I'm like for like my sister and her husband. I'm like, I've got my sister stuff, throughout the years, obviously. Like, I think the year before I got her this, like, really nice little, like fairy, it's like stained glass, like, shade with, like, fairies in it. I'm like, wow, she's gonna really love this. It's crazy. Like, it was one of those, I was walking through a shop, I'm like, holy fuck, that's, like, dead on what I should get her. Like, I don't even know. And then, like, this past year, like, I'm like, I don't know what to get her, so I got her and her husband a gift card. I feel like I'm not as angry at this film as like I was with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Because again, talking about a film that gets the message completely wrong. And I think it's because it's not necessarily the main character that's getting it wrong the whole time. It's everyone else. And he's just kind of getting barraged by this.
Yeah.
Though when everyone's like standing outside the house and the wife is like literally hiding and fearing, I'm like, so small acts of terrorism are funny? I'm like, I call the cops, but
the cops aren't on their side.
Right?
Yeah, seriously.
Kim did a shakedown, and they didn't give the cops money, so the cops weren't on their side anymore.
Right?
Because they didn't want any pictures of hot cops.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. Yes. You want to see naked? Yeah.
Was this movie a good movie? No. And I'll tell you why. Oh, wait, I just told you why. Was it a good Christmas movie? No.
No.
Would I recommend anyone watch this movie? No. You know what I will recommend, though? True Lies.
Yes.
Yeah. A stirring performance by Bill Paxton.
Oh, God, that's so great.
Chris, I actually thought that this movie was pretty great.
Oh, God.
Hey, Chris.
What's up?
I lied.
Well.
Hey, Eric, you're fired.
Yep.
All right, so who wants to go next?
Me.
Just a side thing. True Lies taught me the most important lesson. Never get your wife a ring with a big ass diamond. Because if you piss her off, it can take a chunk of your face out.
That's right.
And knowing most of the people on this podcast, the chance of pissing off your significant other is high. So take that home with you. That's my Christmas gift to you.
Thank you, Chris.
You're
Brilliant.
Yes.
No returns.
All right.
And I don't expect anything back.
So,
all right, Colin, you can totally take it from here and do whatever you want.
Thank you much. I agree with everything Chris said. Good review.
Yeah.
So I made a deal with my fiance. She would only watch this movie with me if I set up an entertainment center in the basement and helped her trim the tree while we watched it.
Is that a euphemism?
No, that's literal. The filthy sex we had later is completely free of innuendo. So, we've got all the decorations out. We got the tree up. We're putting up lights. We're getting in the spirit. This is the perfect way to watch a Christmas movie. And, we're drinking some wine. We're having a good time. And I've never seen this before. So I was, I don't know if excited is the right word, but, I was ready to absorb it for what it is. And the first half, I was actually kind of excited to see this movie about these two people going on vacation for Christmas. And I was like, well, this will be fun because it's going to be a bunch of old folks trying to reclaim their youth on vacation and finding out that all they need for Christmas is each other. Like this will be cute and there'll be fun hijinks. And then
that would have been a better plot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That could have actually been a pretty legitimately good Christmas movie. And I want to mention, Christmas movies are on a completely different quality scale than other movies. So when I thought that was the movie I was watching, and I'm enjoying Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen be cute, like late middle agers, like empty nesters, and I thought that they were well suited to those roles. I was going, why did this only get 1.5 stars? Are they seriously comparing Christmas with the Kranks to like the Shawshank Redemption? Because you don't put them on the same scale,
Right.
There should be a separate scale for Christmas
luckily
movies.
They didn't, because this would have gotten a lot worse.
Yes, because even if there was a proprietary scale strictly for Christmas movies, this probably is still a 1-star
anytime
movie.
Colin reviews a film, he now has to do it on the Shawshank scale.
Yeah, on the Shawshanko meter, this one doesn't even blip.
Right.
The needle doesn't stir at 0.
Like you see something on the monitor and you tap it a couple times and you say it's nothing.
Needle drops backwards.
But even in the scope of Christmas movies, even in the scope of stupid Christmas movies, this is a bad movie.
Yeah.
You want to watch a stupid Christmas movie that's kind of a bad movie, but you're probably going to enjoy it. You need to watch Jingle All the Way. That's the stupidest movie. But,
or Ernest Saves Christmas is a good stupid Christmas movie.
It's really dumb. And with those movies know what they are.
Yep.
This movie takes a weird shift halfway through, and the only thing that's clear throughout the entire movie is that this is a massive guilt trip on behalf of consumerism.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is saying, if you're spending $6,000 on Christmas, you should really be questioning if you're spending enough. Look at that. I mean, now I don't mean to go too preachy, but look at that block they live on. It's an ecological nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, the carbon footprint of these guys is outrageous. Why do they all need a lit up Frosty? I'm not going to tirade too much on that, but just the fact that the idea behind this movie, the entire idea is that it is your responsibility to engage to the fullest extent possible in the consumer blitz of Christmas.
Yep.
I actually found that kind of disgusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really? Because usually they go for real schmaltzy saccharines, family's what matters kind of stuff for Christmas movies.
They tried to tie it in at the very, very end when the daughter was coming home, but
oh man, don't even get me started.
It's they got most of the way through the movie and realized,
we need to make
we're
them
kind
care
of
about
assholes, aren't we?
Yeah, we better put something in there about feelings. Let's throw in a character with cancer. Okay.
Nothing says feelings like cancery death.
Well, okay, what if, did we have to go that far? What if they just had a couple of poor people that lived down the block, and in the end they
not on that block.
No, I know, we don't want to see that.
No.
We don't want to see
Some people
that.
don't exist,
Oh no,
Colin. What are you
no,
talking about?
that's a problem we don't want to think about at Christmas. You couldn't have like the poor folks like 2 blocks over who never get invited, and and Luther just finally goes over and brings them over to the party, and they finally get accepted into the community because of the quality of their character. No, couldn't have that. We gotta have the the cancer side story. Which, by the way, like, what kind of cancer does she have? What are her symptoms? She looks fine. She has hair. Is she going
She
to
has
chemo? We don't even know.
cancer.
Like, yeah, like she has cancer, and that's bad. You know,
We call it the sickness.
yes. She's very ill. You know, what is it? It's like the Mitchell and Webb hospital sketch. It's like, I've never seen anyone looking so peaky. She needs the medicine. You know, it's just that was ludicrous. I don't know, man. Like, I didn't expect to be this pissed off while reviewing this movie, because I was kind of laughing at it when I was watching it. But like, the more I thought about it afterwards, this movie kind of pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so much stuff made me mad about it. Like, even the fact that, like, they make it a thing that, oh my gosh, it's so weird that, like, he's in a Speedo and she's in a 2-piece bathing suit. So, like, these actors are 50-ish. They look fine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, both of them. Both of them look fucking fine.
That scene where they're, like, in the tanning salon, but everybody's like just like staring at them through the facade.
Yeah.
What kind of business runs that way?
That made me so cringy.
Uh-huh.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like, why are they all just standing there and staring at him?
And then of course, you know, just throwing in that like the pastor is there. Oh my goodness! Oh, geez.
Right.
Shit like that in this movie just also relies on coincidence and is pretty insulting storytelling. But I don't expect too much more than that from your average Christmas movie, honestly. So I give that kind of crap a slight pass. It's just the rest of it is so terrible. Like the fact that Luther Krank, who has given so much, you know, in the last 5 years, he's almost, you know, he's approached like my annual income in his Christmas budget. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is a guy who is not stingy. He's not the Grinch. He's just maybe a little tired of it. And his daughter goes away to, I don't know, whatever
Peru.
she was doing. Yeah, Peru, to do whatever she was doing to save the world.
Peace Corps.
You know, if you're in a position where you get to study abroad, the price tag on your education is already immense. So it's not like this.
I mean, at that point, you might as well study too.
Yeah, study as many broads as you can get. The whole... I
will never not make that joke. I'm sorry.
So like
I wasn't ready for that.
We had a family meeting about Blair, me and Jessica, because we're like, okay, you know, when we're gonna have kids, none of this bullshit where like they're gone for 4 weeks and then
none of this where they think we care.
Well, none of this shit where
calling from the plane phone.
Yeah.
Do you know how expensive that is?
Well, and none of this shit where like, oh, I'm suddenly coming home, stop everything and accommodate me. And it's like, we're supposed to think that Blair is some kind of magical child. Everybody loves her, but like all you see from her is complete selfishness.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, but on the other hand,
to
like
be fair,
her parents are enabling
she also
it.
and she also has no idea what they did to do this. So that's more on them than her. Not to say it's not selfish of her for spur of the moment saying, I'm coming home, but honestly, who expects, you know, if you have something that's been the same way for like your entire life, well, you kind of expect.
Yeah, do you expect more from a 20-year-old, really?
No, I meant like you expect like, oh, well, you know, my parents have always done this and this and this. They'll probably do the same thing this year.
Yeah. I just don't know why they didn't say, hey, you know, we're going out of town, but you and your boy can have the place to yourselves for a week. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Not in our bed, though.
Now,
but if you guys
just don't stain anything.
If you guys aren't there to spend $6,000, how are we going to have a good Christmas?
That's right.
You know? Yeah, and I mean, Chris hit it on the head when it's like, all these people seem to think that they own and are entitled to their piece of the Kranks Christmas.
Yes.
You know, the Kranks do not get to be individuals. They need to provide for the herd. And in this case, they are providing an experience that costs tons of money.
Oh yeah.
It's really kind of depressing. Now, then there's one more little cherry on top they throw in this movie. And It's the dumbest thing, because they introduce a character that is possibly the only actual likable character in the movie, and he's the guy that nobody knows, but he knows everybody, who you later learn is Marty.
Marty, yeah.
Who then you later learn is fucking Santa.
It's Santa. In a fucking VW bug.
No, this is what kills me about
this. That's kind of funny, but
it's like, this movie is not in any way about Santa. In fact, it's not even really about Christmas, because it's about consumerism. Like,
yes. It's about the real Christmas.
Well, Christmas people buy Christmas stuff, so let's sell the Christmas
One
people.
might say this movie is about America. But in the end, they couldn't resist the whole, like, wink wink, Santa is real thing.
Yeah.
And he sells you umbrellas.
Yeah. What? Also, like, yes, James, correct. Yes, ugh.
That's all I've been doing anytime somebody brings up something about this movie.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was doing for the whole movie. It's a bad movie.
Oh, yeah.
In every way. And they had the opportunity to maybe make a movie that was okay, but they didn't do that, and instead made a movie that was terrible. And made me feel bad about being a, like, white middle-class American.
It made me feel bad about being alive.
And the greatest irony is a movie that's about blatant consumerism also was absolutely, strictly designed just to make money. Like, this movie is like, it loops in on itself. It's like the ultimate meta of Christmas movies, because the whole thing was made, you cast a couple of people who were like big stars, so you could do a massive cash grab, because you know that after all the food's served at Christmas time, the family has nothing to do, so you go to the movies. And you're going to see a Christmas movie because you're with your family, and you know you're going to go see some cheap, stupid bullshit, but let's go see the one with Tim Allen because he's usually funny.
Yeah.
So, fuck this movie.
This is the Ouroboros that Charlie Brown has created.
Yes! Yes! Like, Linus is literally crying. Like, he's crying right now. Like, he's going out in the spotlight. He's going, lights, please? Well, I don't know what to tell you.
While the Ouroboros slowly closes in around him, encircling Linus, drowning out
this
his
shit is
speech.
like the work of the beast. It's like the great trick that's been going on. It's like in Good Omens how the demon designs a highway system in the shape of a demonic sigil.
Yeah.
You know, we're all participating in this evil and we don't even know it. So that's my very black review.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
So, Eric or James, who's next?
I'll take it.
Let
James bring us home. So we've been talking about how this movie is blatantly about consumerism, and I can't agree more. Now,
unless you bought it.
Now, Colin mentioned in his review that, like, while he was watching it, like, he was kind of chuckling along with himself. And so this movie is really bad, and it's stupid, and it's not good. But when I was sitting there and watching it, a lot of chortle noises came out of me. like, because there's stupid physical comedy that just makes you go, so, you know, stuff like that. It was unpleasant to watch, but not having any kind of, like, emotional investment in it whatsoever. Like, when you are watching a movie and as soon as maybe 5 minutes in, you're like, oh, this shit's bad. Like, you can just kind of start laughing at it. And that's what I did. So it made watching it mostly palatable for me. So there were parts of this movie that absolutely hurt to watch, but it wasn't so bad. Another problem this movie had at the ending, I think Lord of the Rings Return of the King took its cues from this movie because this movie had like 4 different parts where it ended, but then it kept going.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's stealing my bits.
Sorry, Elby.
That was seriously the worst thing ever in the theater watching that movie. After like 4 hours of watching that movie, I had to pee so bad.
Right?
And it's like, thank God it's almost over. Nope. Thank God it's almost over. No, that went on for a half a fucking hour.
There's a ship on the horizon. Where do the... All right, no, never mind.
And we didn't even get the Scouring of the Shire. I mean, that would be another 45 right there.
Going and playing golf with goblin heads and shit like that. All right, but so the movie, like, itself was blatantly consumerist, but so was the production of this movie. So this movie cost a lot of money to make. It cost like $60 million to make this movie.
Wow.
And
God.
Spent on what?
And let me tell you what.
Lights. That's what I was going to say.
So, the setting of Christmas with the Kranks takes place mostly in the Kranks neighborhood of Hemlock Street in a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. Over the course of 4 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve. The production designer originally looked for locations with the right weather conditions and the right suburban ambiance for the street, and described perfectly in Chris Columbus's script. And they looked around in Minneapolis, they looked in suburban Chicago, they looked for the right idyllic neighborhood that they could film this shit on location. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Eventually they decided, what if we just threw a ton of money at it and built literally the largest set in film history?
No.
Wow.
What?
For this.
So that neighborhood was essentially a bunch of facade houses?
When looking for a place to build the set 15 weeks before filming began, Stover chose a parking lot outside of a former Boeing aircraft facility in Downey, California, about 15 miles away from downtown Los Angeles, in the middle of Downey Studios. The rest of the 3 weeks were spent on designing the houses with assistance from the construction coordinator. In the next 12 weeks, hundreds of carpenters, plasterers, and painters built what would have become the largest exterior set ever for a movie, being more than 700 feet long and including 16 houses. They built 16 houses to film this movie.
So you're telling me there literally was not an American suburb that perfectly represented the American suburb well enough?
Yes.
Wow.
Unbelievable. God, this is Trump's America.
Dude. So
think about all that money they could have used to build a wall.
They built this at a Boeing hangar in Los Angeles and brought in all the snow and they built all these houses to film this movie, and it this movie sucked. It was bad. But it's just but the filming of this movie was a lot like what happened in this movie is people just spending money because we have the money and I guess we're gonna have to spend it. So let's just make this Christmas thing happen by throwing a bunch of money at it. Making the movie and the movie itself were the exact same thing. It's just blatant wastefulness. They could have filmed this. There are suburbs that kind of look like this everywhere.
They could have filmed this on my street.
Right, they could have filmed this in Lansing. It's not like they needed to find some crazy out of the world location for this. This place could be a real place. They could film this anywhere.
Yep.
I've been in neighborhoods that look a lot like that.
Absolutely.
But they decided to throw millions of dollars at it and build a neighborhood on a lot.
Wow.
Those houses were real full houses. They weren't sets. They built houses.
So talking about the carbon imprint of that, the carbon footprint of that neighborhood, it's 10 times worse than you even think.
Jeez,
the carbon footprint.
You know what they should have done?
This movie has a smaller carbon footprint than all the dinosaurs in fucking Jurassic Park. A larger carbon footprint than all the fucking dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
You know what they should have done?
What?
So they wanted their idyllic neighborhood.
Yeah.
They should have bought residential property, built all these houses, and then tried to recoup all the costs that obviously they lost in the actual, movie by selling houses to people.
Yeah.
That would have been as bad as putting a poor family in this movie.
They could have made more money on real estate than they did the movie, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, can I mention something I forgot to mention? The guy in the poster that Luther Kranks sees that inspires him to go on vacation and skip Christmas. Guy has no penis. I don't I don't know why I noticed this, but dude's in a Speedo. He has zero bulge. He has no penis.
That's not something
a serious medical condition. Can we not?
They chopped out this dude's wang. You know why? Because
serious medical condition.
If you saw the
people are born without penises all the time.
It's
not fair.
If you looked at a man in a Speedo who is better looking than Tim Allen, you're gay. So they can't have that in the movie. Like they can't have the shape of a man's penis who's better looking than Tim Allen.
I'm happy to report that Tim Allen did look like he had a wang from what we saw.
Yep, Tim Allen had a wang, but the guy in the poster did not have a penis.
Wow.
So I've only got one more thing to say, and it has nothing to do with this movie.
It was very weird. I had to rewind it.
I rewind it and look very closely several times.
Well, he had to be precise for when he updated his Wang journal.
Yep.
It's true. Like, my Wang journal, take pride in their work. So I was
his Wang bank.
I was like, anything in this movie for the Wang journal? Well, oh wait, that looked like nope.
Rewind.
Can't put that one in.
Ever since he got that huge hit with Muscle Cow.
It's true. Muscle Cow changed the face of Wang journal. It was a great day for Wang journalism. I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't mean to sidetrack.
Okay, so one more thing, and it has nothing to do with this movie, but so this movie is kind of about ruining Christmas because it ruined a lot of our Christmases, and the Kranks Christmas was ruined when when they were bullied into spending a bunch of money on a stupid holiday party.
Right.
Well, I ruined a Christmas when I was 12 years old.
Oh, Linda. Oh, Linda.
So on my mom's side of the family, there are a couple of cousins that are a few years younger than me and my sister, and we always go over to their house for Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, and hang out. And one year we went over to their house for Christmas, and they showed us, and it was a couple days after Christmas, and they showed us a home movie of the kids on Christmas morning, because the kids came out, went and looked under the tree, and there was a little kitty in a crate, and my cousin Michelle was like, oh, Santa brought us a kitty. Santa brought us a kitty. And she's probably 9 or 10 years old. She's like, oh my gosh, Santa brought us a kitty. Santa brought us a kitty. And they're seeing the videos, and I'm the cat's running around in the house, and I'm looking at it. And so while we're all watching the video, I turn to my aunt and uncle, her parents. I go, so did you get it from an animal shelter or something? And my cousins looked at me, and they were like, what? I was like, well, where did your parents get it? And they were like, what?
They didn't. It was Santa. Oh God! Oh God! God!
So I grew up obviously in a super religious house, and I've never believed in Santa my entire life. So I just kind of took it for granted that Santa's bullshit and nobody believes in it.
At 9, who the fuck still believes in Santa?
I think I did.
Me.
I think we both did.
So yeah, I just
Santa's awesome. Why would you want to fucking ruin that shit?
I want to believe in Santa.
Yeah, I still want to believe in. I can't. I still want to.
Let's let Eric finish his tale.
So,
and, by the way, Santa's totally real.
They were fucked after that.
So I remember my uncle giving me a look are you fucking kidding me right now? and they didn't answer, and we just moved on.
Yep.
But I made their Christmas not as fun because I'm not a believer.
Oh man.
But anyway, so yeah, Christmas with the Kranks is a fucking bad movie. It makes you feel bad while you're watching it. There's physical comedy that makes you chortle, but it's not worth how really awful this movie is. It's about pure consumerism, and it's real garbage.
Yep.
So yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
So James, that brings us to you.
All right. Okay. So I gotta say, I watched this movie about 3 hours ago before we even started this podcast, and I've already forgotten it.
It's 8:00. Let me do this.
Man, I'm trying to forget it, James.
I watched it at 4:30.
Okay.
It's been a full day.
Because I told Eric this already.
Full disclosure.
I got a call from James earlier today.
Yep.
He was asking about car-related things, and he was working on the car at the time. And as we end the call at about 3:40, he's like, "Oh shit! I still need to watch Christmas with the Kranks."
Oh man!
It was as James a moment as possibly could have happened. It was glorious. I wasn't even mad. Not that I would be, but it was perfect. Thank you, James, for that.
Like I said, it's been a full week. I wanted to watch it. I like to watch things yesterday or the day before. I like to watch things the day before we podcast, and sleep on it, and come up with some good jokes and shit. But yeah, as I told the other guys
write a song
before,
and a 10-page script of a parody.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, as I told the other guys before, I had a friend, my good friend Alexis said her first baby, and I went and saw the baby, and they don't listen to this podcast, so fuck you and your baby's ugly.
I know Alexis, and I was going to ask if the baby was ugly.
That's so much meaner than me. I'm a friend. I can say that shit. You're just some guy, man.
Oh, that was gold. That's staying in.
Shade. Woo!
Oh, no.
John hates movies where we recognize
John hates
that
babies.
babies can be ugly. Because, man, can they be ugly.
Now, I will say this. There's two types of babies. There's ugly babies, and then there's babies.
Right.
And Alexis's baby is a baby. So she lucked out, I guess.
There's one type of baby, and that's the baby that probably should be punched.
Oh.
Wow!
We got the Christmas spirit here, guys. So
I was at a restaurant
John hates
yesterday.
movies does not recommend punching babies.
I was at a restaurant yesterday.
Unless the baby started.
This is what I'm saying. I was at a restaurant yesterday. You go out, you're paying to eat a meal, and all you hear is like okay, and then you hear a whispered, "Be quiet." Like, no, I should hear.
or
Why are you punching the baby? Why aren't you punching the parents?
Yeah,
because technically, it'll make the point more clear if I punch the baby.
Whenever Jessica and I go out, there's always a baby somewhere. Yeah. It's like a phenomenon. Like, we attract people with babies. And,
right? I mean, why can't people just keep those things at home?
Babies love me. I don't know why. They love me. They want to look at me. They want to talk to me, and they want to touch me. It's really weird. Like, so if there is a baby at the next table over, like, then our dinner is just done. Because the baby wants to mess with me. This is like a thing that happens all the time. Like, babies just gotta figure me out, and they want to grab at me and stuff.
All I can see now is when he said they want to mess with me, like you calling his girlfriend or at a table,
my fork
like
off the table and shit.
The baby's behind her, so she can't see it. It's the mom's holding the baby's just looking at Colin, and then suddenly the baby pulls a knife, but no one else can see it.
The baby's fucking messing with me, man. Like,
points the knife at its eye.
The funny thing is, so I'm 37. I got like at this time I'm bearded, and I don't know, but I don't know. Like, I don't look parental to people, so their baby wants to mess with me, and they get mad at me.
Yeah.
Like, this is how it goes. Like, parents don't like that their baby wants to mess with me, and they blame me.
Well, maybe they should have a less inquisitive child.
Yeah, because they sit their baby down next to me in the restaurant, and it's like reaching out for me, and they're like, don't touch my baby. And, and I'm like, I don't want to touch your baby. Your baby is touching me. And it's a weird thing. I don't want to punch babies, but I do kind of wish that they would go away.
Yeah. Colin, never become a Catholic priest.
Yeah, right? See, this is a problem that limits my career choices. That's unfair to me.
So, James, Christmas with the Kranks.
Back to you, James.
Yeah, I'll take any aside. Oh my god! All right, so most of my jokes were already covered. So
what you're saying is your jokes weren't very good.
Yeah, I think so.
Or were your jokes about babies trying to touch me? That's weird.
That was one of them, but no. Anyway, so
baby's trying to touch Colin. Am I right?
Don't you find
what's
it weird?
the deal with airline peanuts?
Did you ever notice
how babies love to touch Colin?
Isn't that weird?
All right, so this movie is terrifying because it's a Twilight Zone episode. It's it's the exact same plot as Wicker Man, like the original Wicker Man.
Yes.
The original Wicker Man is fantastic.
Oh, the bees!
That's fantastic in a different way. Much the same way as Dredd and Judge Dredd are both fantastic movies. So, like, Wicker Man is great because these cults, they worship an old dead god, and everybody knows this bullshit. And the guy who's after them is a devout believing Catholic. So at the end, he's in the Wicker Man getting burnt up, and they're all singing to their god, and he's singing to his. And as the audience, you know nothing's going to intervene.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know that both sides are being completely illogical, and they're both like forcing their illogical, unchangeable ideals on the other.
Yeah, except one's doing a hell of a lot more violently than the other.
Well, the group that's in power does.
Right.
Which is exactly why this movie is terrifying.
Right.
Because literally it's just like they're forming a mob outside of his house because he won't bring out a papier-mâché doll.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was plastic.
Whatever it was, it doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter what the doll
well,
is.
it does matter because I don't think paper-mâché would hold up in the houses of women.
All right,
the return of the
aside. For like not only is that just terrifying and a terrifying idea in its own right. Dan Aykroyd is a straight up bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
There's no other way to get around it, even though we're supposed to be rooting for him the entire time. They're doing things like caroling at them, and it's supposed to be funny.
That was actually somewhat funny until they went to the window.
No, okay. When they showed up at the window, I laughed at that.
Yes.
I laughed.
Because the setup was like a horror
super
movie.
Obvious. Yeah, they're doing... This movie had horror movie elements in it.
If they played it up more, that would have been better.
Yeah.
Like that's probably there was so much done wrong in this movie anyway, from a technical standpoint, that I won't even get into. It just reminds me like how there will be people who will do things as a seemingly nice gesture as a way to poke at the other person.
Ooh, like Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. I'm thinking of something else, but no, I mean it's just stuff like that. Like I don't know, like say like alt-right people being like showing up at like a Jewish fundraiser with like a bunch of free pork products. You know? And being like, hey, we brought food for you guys.
That's funny.
You know, like if okay, let's say the anti-defamation
I'm not saying it's not like super inappropriate, but
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. It's inappropriate. They think it's funny. The truth is, it's done from a place of hatred and aggression.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the point I'm making. That's absolutely like it's really childish.
Yeah.
And really fucking petty. And as Chris said, he's not hurting anybody by living his own life.
What if there was somebody in this neighborhood that didn't celebrate Christmas?
And they actually covered it.
Like,
they're like, well, is he like Jewish or
is
Buddhist?
He Buddhist? Yeah.
And it's like,
is he different from us somehow?
That's a reasonable excuse that you're willing to accept, but I just don't feel like it isn't.
Right.
Maybe he has reasons that he just doesn't want to tell you.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Christmas killed his parents.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to categorize him into a group that you don't care about in order for it to be okay.
Right.
Although, to be fair, that would be better if someone followed a belief that was different than them, they just pretended they didn't exist.
That's right.
Yeah,
Instead of getting up in because otherwise they get up in arms that how can you not do what I want you to do?
Right. Exactly.
Just saying, it would be as close to like decency and humanity as we're probably going to get if people just ignore.
So the impression I get from this movie is that it just seems to come from like a middle-aged white upper middle class bubble.
Yeah.
And like
no doubt,
like the writer lived in that area. Was it actually written by John Grisham?
The book was. The screenplay was
Yeah.
Chris Columbus.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yep.
That being said, honestly, he doesn't want to spend money, so like just give him the Frosty.
Okay. Well, no. That's the funny thing. Like this whole time they're like, give us Frosty. We'll put it up for you. And then when he finally decides he's going to put up the fucking Frosty, no one's actually helping him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like a little
Well, they
bit
don't
of pride.
see him
That kind of makes
doing
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying though.
Yeah. No, I mean, if he would have been smart and he's been like, hey, my daughter's coming back, I need to do this shit, he would have gone to like people in his town first and been like, hey, everything's changed, I need your help.
He talks to one guy like that, like the one neighbor he tries to borrow the tree from.
Yeah.
Like he goes to that one guy and is like, look, things have changed and I need to get Christmas.
Oh,
and the dude's like, all right.
That part hurts so much. Just watching, I hate that. Just like, I don't know why I care about him getting the tree to his house and not hurting the ornaments. I don't know why I care. This movie's awful. It's dumb.
No, the best part about that scene was when the cops show up and the kid who can totally vouch for him disappeared. That was hilarious, but then he shows back up.
That kid pissed me off.
And
hey, there's nothing wrong with Dewey.
He tries to take the tree the dumbest way possible.
On a little red wagon.
On a red wagon. He doesn't even try to lift it once. He just tips it over.
Right.
Oh my god.
Well, this is a movie where the protagonist consistently chooses the stupid way to do anything, and everything goes wrong.
I mean,
everything possible.
That's just a Tim
Allen
Allen
Ben Stiller movie.
Well,
you saw that shit in Home
Improvement.
Improvement.
Also, we established that it's okay to leave for the holidays as long as you do everything regarding it, including decorating your house and putting up a Christmas tree in your house, even though you're not going to be home for the holiday.
Yeah.
Well, the important message here is none of this would have happened if he just conformed and obeyed.
Yes.
Exactly.
So evidently he should have decorated his house, bought a tree, thrown it in the garage, and gone on a fucking cruise.
This whole movie is like a graffiti artist's dream.
What do you mean?
You know, because of the whole conform, obey thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's I think probably Banksy came when he watched this movie.
Well, I mean, it does speak some truths. In this movie, but not truths that you want to speak in a Christmas movie, a feel-good Christmas movie.
That's right.
You know, maybe Joe McCarthy might fucking love this. You know, he calls fucking the guy from Peru a communist. Jesus Christ!
Oh boy!
Jesus Christ! Those are the main themes, and I fucking hate it. And the other themes the other guys covered. So. Let me go into a bunch of stupid shit that was in this movie. About Eric, you made the point about how they built a set for this. Now, I'm not sure. Like you said, they could they could film this in Lansing. I'd say you're almost right. The problem is finding a subdivision that is not too rich and not too poor. It is really hard to find that nice medium that they have in this.
This is a pretty rich subdivision.
Apart from that, it's also hard to find the shots where the houses are that big and that close together.
Yeah,
they probably
could have done it in Okemos.
They should have filmed on a street and then filled the houses in post CG.
Yeah. Would have been cheaper.
Yeah, would have been cheaper.
Well, yeah, since the main thing you're seeing is Christmas lights, because a lot of these scenes take place at night.
Yeah.
It really would not have been hard.
And there's just so much stupid shit in this movie. A Frosty on every roof. Where the fuck is that a tradition? Who the fuck puts a Frosty on your roof anyway?
I was going to say that too. Why in God's name? Because that's not where you would put a Frosty if you did.
No, it's a Frosty in your yard.
Yeah. Especially since these Frosties are apparently ceramic or something.
Exactly.
That's insanity.
But that's obviously the guy who's selling everybody a fucking Frosties. He's a genius because when they inevitably fall and break, he can just sell them another one. And I'm sure they're not cheap.
Frosty.
How can I sell people 3 Frosties?
Also, he was lifting it up onto the roof in the dumbest way possible.
Oh yeah, a noose around its neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I expected that to be it to fall and look like he hung from.
Yeah,
that's the joke I was waiting for.
That would have been very funny.
Yeah,
because everyone rushes out, and I expected them to do that joke.
Yep.
He was throwing in their face that he wasn't right. Right as he's trying to make amends and be like, "Hey guys, help me out," and he just slaps him in the face with "Fuck you." There's your Frosty.
Frosty execution.
So, Chris, you mentioned that the daughter could just go across the street.
Right.
I got a question. She obviously can't act her way out of a paper fucking bag. How's she going to cross the street?
On her hands and knees.
Oh!
So, was she discount Denise Richards or what?
I think she must have been owed a favor.
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah,
honestly, you don't think fantastic acting when you watch this movie, but you realize the caliber of the other actors whenever she's on screen. Jesus Christ. I mean, she is the prettiest woman that has the largest vacuum of charisma that I have ever seen.
Okay, I've got to jump in because nobody's mentioned it yet. I fucking laughed hard at the Tim Allen Botox scene when he's fucking trying to eat melon.
Yes,
falling out of his face.
Hey,
stupid, but it's funny.
Let's draw this back for a second.
What? That was funny.
No, that was miserable. And it's the perfect segue into my review. So, James, where are you at?
I think that's everything, honestly.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, his face is all red and scorched out, and he's got melon balls falling out of his mouth. It's funny.
It was not funny. It was creepy. Everything about the physicality in this movie was creepy. But
you didn't make some chortle noises when you saw it?
No, I went, oh my god. No, it creeped the shit out of it. I can't even begin to tell you. Dan Aykroyd is creepy in this.
Well, yeah.
The physicality beats of Tim Allen are really weird and off. Like, did anybody get the feeling that Tim Allen was like 2 seconds away from punching somebody the entire time this movie was going on?
Yeah. If I was working on this movie, yeah.
Okay. We've all seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what really stupid, goofy physicality should look like.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This was like seeing the weird, bizarro mirror version of that kind of physicality where everything was just slightly off. And because of that, it resonated. It's kind of like when you're talking to somebody and they have you on speakerphone and you hear your own voice coming second after. It's terrible, and it drives you. I had that exact same feeling the whole time I was watching this movie. I was literally agonizing. I actually stopped this movie halfway through and switched it over to the Yuletide log for about 10 minutes, just so I could like build up my Christmas reserves, just so I could
just
go back,
warm up a little bit next to the log,
and handle this movie. That's how bad it was. Because that melon ball scene was the capstone for me. That's where I was like, fuck this. Fuck this. I am done.
He's trying to drink some water and it comes dribbling out of his mouth.
It was like hearing my own voice. It was like hearing my own voice 2 seconds after I was saying something. That's what that whole scene was to me. Because I am a Tim Allen fan. I like Home Improvement. I like Galaxy Quest. Oh, yeah. I know he can be funny.
That was funny. I don't care. I think that was funny.
John,
I'm not coming off that. I think that was funny.
And for me, it wasn't the melon ball scene. It was Jamie Lee Curtis chasing the ham.
Oh, that was
really bad.
Yeah. Can I say something about the ham?
Yes.
Who the fuck buys a smoked ham in a tin as like a special meal?
Dude, I said the exact same thing. I flat out loud said that. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, the whole time they're chasing after this thing.
They do, and like
you don't buy a fucking canned ham.
I know. I'm like that. I'm sure that shit's fucking gross. Like
that's a name brand though. That was product placement though. You guys got that right.
But
every time that they mentioned that ham, they didn't just say ham.
You're so
they
right.
said the whole name of the fucking ham.
Like hickory smoked honeyed ham.
Yeah, exactly. And it was Mel's. It was Mel's hickory smoked. Yeah. So anyway, that was product placement. It's a real thing. I've seen them before.
Well, I'm having one for Christmas.
Store. You should, because they.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Christmas.
They're fucking
BASF ham.
Fucking miserable. They're god awful.
I'm gonna ship my brains out because of too much salt.
So yeah,
just dump it in the toilet and eliminate the middleman.
There was all these. There was all these misbeats that everybody has brought up.
Yep.
Including, like, obviously the hung Frosty, all these missed opportunities. Did anybody else, and I'm just curious about this, and I think after this question, I'm pretty much going to be done here with this. Obviously, I hated it. It was miserable, god-awful. Don't ever fucking watch this. But did anybody else think that the whole thing with Marty, instead of him being Santa, that he was going to be like the partner at Tim Allen's company?
I thought he might be actually somebody super creepy and crazy.
Yeah, I thought he was just a creep.
I thought he was going to be a murderer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I literally thought that he was like Tim Allen's high boss.
No, he's Santa who sells umbrellas.
Right, that doesn't make any sense.
The snow is really great for business.
Yes.
Well, no, I mean,
and that's great for business for selling umbrellas. How the fuck does that work?
You know what? Again, another missed opportunity. Like, the other thing I thought he was going to be was like the homeless guy, and like no one even thought about the fact that he has nowhere to go, but because no one knows who he is.
Hey, that would have been smart.
Yeah, that would have been smart.
Yeah, they could have actually done something there.
Because
the homeless people at the shelter were wearing Lacoste.
They did the yes. They did the lead in to that after talking about Tim Allen's career. Like, and so that's where I thought that they, it was going to be like one of those things where like, oh, well, the spirit of Christmas, I'll give you a raise and you'll be my partner because you're the only person who ever invited me out or something stupid. Like, right. I literally thought that's where they were going with it because that's the kind of Christmas schmaltz I've come to expect from these fucking.
That was way too, like, good. Or
I
like,
know.
Right.
Or like
the
usable.
movie isn't even deserving of that kind of schmaltz.
No, it's not. It's not. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to tie this one up because already it's like I've been watching the movie all over again, and I'm starting to feel agonizingly sick, and I'll just leave you with this thought. If for some reason you do not want to have any kind of Christmas spirit whatsoever, and you want as many anti-Christmas feelings as you can possibly get, just sit down and watch this movie, because I guarantee that when you walk away from this movie, you're going to be saying, man, fuck Christmas.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's funny.
You're absolutely right.
Anyway, I think we're done talking about this because it's doing nothing but making me more angry. So with that being said, we're going to take a short break.
Cranky.
Yes, Christmas with the fucking tear out my eyeballs, eat them, shit them out, shove them in my ears, and then smash my own head in.
Wow.
Christmas with the overreaction, maybe.
Yes, I hate this movie
I saw a billboard on the way here that said, "Don't forget to put the Christ in Christmas." And with all my heart, I just want to paint over the T.
Yep. Don't forget to put the Chris in Christmas. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, and we are going to be back with the game.
I'll go there and put your portrait up there. Thumbs up.
Science, innovation, progress. Vlarf Industries has always been committed to serving its customers. It is our pledge to provide the technology you need to approach life's most challenging questions. Does your lawn have too many calories? Are your dangles properly applicated? Are you getting enough flavor for your family? Through Dimension X technology, we at Vlarf are always with you. Just as the great X the Perceiver, he who shall endure, is always with us. Vlarf Industries, always watching. Always.
And we're back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for your favorite part and mine. It is time for the game. And as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie runs the game. So, Chris, what are we playing?
Yay! Oh, well, this movie inspired me.
That's something that's never been said before. Ever.
The movie is about continuing traditions. And if one thing is true with the introduction of the game segment, with the introduction of much of John Hates Movies, we like our traditions.
Yeah.
I have a few questions on traditions. I'll ask each of you, and you will traditionally, you get a point. If you're correct, and you get nothing if you're wrong.
All right.
Or if you're confident.
That's fair.
I don't think that needed to be said. Okay, let's start with John, because the order in which I wrote the names down was John, James, Eric, and Colin.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Seems good.
John.
Yes.
Which country, and I'll give you options, which country, a figure of the Kaganar, in their nativity scenes, and this is a small figure of a defecating man. Is it Austria, Catalonia, Norway, or Japan?
I'm going to have to say Norway.
You're incorrect.
Is it Catalonia, even though it's not really
It's
a country?
Japan. They're into some weird shit.
It is Catalonia.
Oh,
Wow.
It's like an autonomous region in Spain, but yeah.
I said options and never said they were all countries.
Right.
James,
Yes.
true or false? There is no cleaning on Christmas Eve in Norway.
Wait, so John got 4 options, James gets 2.
These are some.
I'm busting your balls.
James automatically gets a lifeline.
True, false, yes or no?
True.
It is true.
Yeah.
All brooms are hidden away in case they are stolen by witches or evil spirits.
Gotcha.
That's thinking ahead.
Yeah.
I can't clean tonight, or else the witch will steal our broom. That sounds like an excuse to just have a dirty house on Christmas morning.
Okay, Eric.
Yeah.
For your sake, true or false?
Oh.
I was robbed.
In Germany, it is tradition to hide a pickle in the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve.
See, okay. I have a Polish side of my family, and the Christmas pickle is a thing.
So you're saying true.
Yes. Even though Poland and Germany have a very shared history.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
You could say that one likes the other one.
No, they were part of the same country for a long time.
Because one
true.
liked the other one.
I tried to do that again.
I'm going to say true.
In Trump's
Okay.
America.
You are correct.
All right.
And the first child to discover it in the morning receives a small gift.
Yeah, that's a thing. I know
Is
about
the
that
gift
thing.
the pickle?
My house. I love pickles. It's got some dirt on it.
Let's say hi to
Do you
pickle.
wrap the pickle or anything?
Well, so
I
what
hope so.
we do now is
Otherwise,
it's just
you'll transmit disease.
there's just an ornament that's hung on the tree. It looks like a pickle, and you got to find it.
So that's why I have a pickle ornament. I just thought it was cool.
No, it's a thing.
Well, on Christmas, say you found it and then demand a prize. Colin,
Yes.
true or false? And I'm sorry, John.
Wow. Okay. I see where this is going. Yeah.
In Japan, Christmas cards are red when they are sent to friends and family. The color red.
I'm going to go with false.
Okay. You are correct. They are
Yes.
white because red is associated with funerals.
Oh. I mean, I knew that, yeah.
Well done, Colin.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
John, essay question. Please fill us.
In your own words.
Yeah.
In 40 words
Describe
or more.
the central themes of the Nibelungulaean.
John, multiple choice. If you're going to be an smart ass about it. In this country, the post recognizes Santa Claus's address as Santa Claus, North Pole, this country, ho ho ho. Any letters received bearing this address are both opened and replied to. Is this in Finland, England, Iceland, or Canada?
Canada.
John, you are correct.
Whoa,
Yeah, that sounded
answer.
distinctly Canadian.
Right?
Yep.
All right, James, multiple choice.
Ah, poo.
The Christmas tradition called the Running of the Santas. Each event sees scores of people dressed as Santa taking part in a large pub crawl. Is this found in the United States, England, Ireland, or South Africa?
That is the United States.
That is correct.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I was going to throw you off with
Down
pub
in,
because they actually...
Texas, I believe, or somewhere in the...
Okay, Eric.
Yes.
Multiple choice.
Okay.
In this country, a group of mummers dressed in a variety of costumes travel from house to house. Each household must give them a treat in return for a blessing.
Okay.
Does this happen in Italy, Ethiopia, Guatemala, or Latvia?
Latvia.
Why Latvia? You are correct.
Yeah. I just gave Colin a point.
Oh. Sorry about that. Let me erase the other point he has, too.
I'll take that one.
Now, mummers, that's like a word for mimes, and it's a distinctly European thing, but I didn't think it would be Italian. So that's where I got Latvia.
Colin.
Yeah.
Multiple choice. In this country, on Christmas Eve, it is tradition for the families to head to the sauna together. Is this Finland, Estonia, Wales, or Italy?
The sauna.
Estonia.
That is correct.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right.
I kind of figured throwing like Finland, who they do saunas and stuff.
Yeah,
would have
for
thrown
sure.
you off. You know? John, open-ended question.
Short answer. Jesus.
Who tries to stop Christmas from coming by stealing all of the Christmas?
By stealing all the Christmas?
By stealing all of Christmas.
Oh, the Grinch.
That is correct.
Oh.
See, he balks at me.
Gives him a
You
layup.
throw him a total softball.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
You're a mean one.
Mr. Chris.
Mr. Chris.
Yeah. You really are a heel.
James,
I love that bit.
which
That's a good
movie is commonly associated as being a Christmas movie?
Come
Is
on.
it RoboCop? Is it Die Hard? Is it, what the hell is that? Flubber Buster.
Professor Cat Magnabuses?
Yeah.
Have Magnabuses, yep.
Jingle All the Way.
You know this, James.
I mean,
There are a lot of answers to this one.
yeah,
No, there's one answer to this one.
Die Hard.
That is correct.
Challenge.
Because
Challenge.
obviously Jingle All
Challenge.
the Way is a Christmas movie, but nobody watches it regularly, so it's not a tradition.
Yeah.
I challenge.
RoboCop is
challenge.
not a fucking Christmas movie.
Challenge.
RoboCop is not a Christmas movie.
totally
Die Hard is completely a Christmas movie. And if your
Challenge.
challenge includes trying to convince me that RoboCop is a Christmas movie.
No, it's not about RoboCop. In this very episode of John Hates Movies, in the beginning, we established that Professor
Cat
Cat
Magnabus.
Magnabus's Whamtastic
Rumble
Rumble Pump is a superior Christmas movie to Christmas with the Cranks. We said it in this episode, therefore establishing that is known as a Christmas movie.
I'm not saying it's, but tradition. It's about tradition.
It's a tradition for only me.
What about our traditions here at
That's
John
it.
Hates
Colin
Movies?
loses a point.
It was in our first Christmas special. It was in Charlie
Someone's
Brown's
not tied for the lead anymore.
I tangentially related.
It's okay.
It reminds me of a story that has to do with Christmas.
This is some bullshit.
Eric,
Yes.
open-ended.
Okay.
I apologize.
I don't care.
The red and white
RoboCop.
costume of Father Christmas was allegedly first introduced by which drinks manufacturer?
Coca-Cola.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It was introduced by RoboCop.
I was going to say Budweiser.
This gift is for you.
I don't know. RoboCop is a Christmas movie because it's just about a guy trying to get back to his family.
James just lost a point.
Damn it! It was worth it for the joke.
All right, John, we gotta like keep our tongues in check here.
Okay. Colin, open-ended. Which spirit is traditionally added to butter and served with Christmas pudding?
Ready or not, you're celebrating with me.
John?
Brandy.
That is correct.
Whoa!
That is correct.
Wow.
And because
Thank
you
you.
answered
Thank you
so
very much.
quickly, I didn't have a chance to take a point away from John. So you're welcome, John.
Naughty or nice? You're coming with me.
For repeating.
Oh no! No, I just lost a point. We're all tied with 2 points. No!
That was good. That was good, Eric.
What the fuck?
Oh god, this is the best.
No! Fuck you!
A movie that shall not be named.
All right, open-ended. This is going to get harder because now you guys are... Yeah. John, when was the... Wait, I did call it. Yeah. When was the first Christmas card sent and who designed it. If you can get either one of these correct, you get a point. If you get both correct, you get 2.
1922.
John, you are totally not right. The first Christmas card was sent in 1843.
Wow.
And was designed by John Horsley.
Wow.
All right.
Oh,
yeah, I totally knew that.
Of the Upper East Side.
Right.
James, yeah. Similar to tinsel, these long strips of shiny foil are used to decorate Christmas trees. What are they called?
I have a funny answer, but it might be right. It's not gum wrappers, is it?
It is not gum wrappers.
You juicy fruits. I have no idea.
You don't know?
Icicles.
Icicles.
Oh. I've seen those.
Eric.
Yes.
Just want to point out where you guys are all at 2.
Hooray.
3 of us because we lost points.
And in Canada, the United Kingdom, and most other Commonwealth countries officially celebrate the day after Christmas as what holiday?
Boxing Day.
That is correct. See, that was a soft lob.
That's why John thinks Rocky is a Christmas movie.
Wow.
It is a Christmas movie. Every good movie is a Christmas movie.
Nice tree. I don't know.
Colin.
Yes.
Which country was the first to use the tradition of Christmas trees?
Open-ended, huh?
Yes.
Norway.
Norway? Dude, you are not right.
Oh.
It's Germany.
John, did you know that?
Yeah.
Probably would have been way
wow.
back when they called it Prussia.
Possibly, yes.
All right, John.
Yeah.
Which country was the first country to issue Christmas postage stamps?
I'm going to say the United States of America.
John. It was Canada.
No! That would have been my second guess, because those are the only 2 countries I know.
You mean America and America's hat.
Yeah.
James.
Yes.
Which American president banned Christmas trees in the White House?
Ah, fuck, it's open-ended?
Yeah, and if you'd ever been to my house, here's a clue. It's my Wi-Fi password.
Grover Cleveland?
Grover Cleveland is your Wi-Fi password?
Nope.
That would be weird.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow.
I did not know.
All right.
Eric, how many days do we have between Christmas and the Epiphany?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'd have to have an epiphany first, so we've got a long...
Well, if you have it now, that's how many days?
100.
100?
Yeah.
That's like a third of a year.
Yeah.
It's 12.
Okay. I don't know. I was guessing that the Epiphany might have had something to do with Easter, and that would have been around the right time. So
right,
and it was a round number. So there you have it. I don't know. I didn't know.
Never mind. I'll just leave it alone.
Let's see. What year did RoboCop come out?
Oh no! Another point down the drain.
That's okay. Somebody had to lose a point. It was too long.
Candy canes are red and white. Actually, I will leave this. If anyone can answer this, I'll give them a point. Why are Christmas candy canes red and white?
I believe that the white represents purity and the red represents Jesus' blood.
James is right.
Wow,
Yep, proselytizing with candy canes. I got it because I'm fat and I love candy.
What is the most famous Christmas ballet of all time?
Oh, come on.
The Nutcracker Ballet.
Yeah. All right, 3-way tie with 3 points.
John, who invented electric Christmas lights?
Jesus God. You know what my answer wants to be.
Should I just take away your point now?
Was it Voldemort?
What's your answer, John?
OCP.
OCP? Oh, okay. Yes. The evil corporation.
Oh, wow. I didn't even make that. Well, for evading my tactics, I'm giving you a point back.
Yay!
This has become the don't mention
that one movie.
that one guy game.
According to this, it was Thomas Edison in 1880, but as we all know, he is the alleged inventor of a lot of things, so God only knows.
Yeah.
He always put it as him. It's one thing for like, this was invented in the labs of, blah, 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 of Dow Chemical. And it's like, okay, so one of their engineers or whatever scientists did it. With Edison, it was always, I invented this.
Yeah.
That's all I used to do that shit.
Nobody's going to ask that. Nobody's going to answer. I see you. I see you. I see you in Dave.
You don't see me. I'm invisible.
Hey, James, who invented square hamburgers?
I want to say RoboCop.
I'm glad we were all thinking it.
Flip it.
I laughed. You're not getting a point taken. It is. Whose turn is it?
I
James?
think it's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
James.
Yes.
According to the Bible, what did the wise men bring to baby Jesus?
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
War.
Nope. Apparently, it was gold, silver, myrrh, and frankincense.
Oh!
Take that, bitch.
Brah, brah, brah. Shit.
You've been
kidding, you're right.
out.
Yay.
No, you're right.
I was like, silver. I had never heard that.
Yeah.
I thought Judas brought that.
No.
In the form of a knife
30
in the
pieces.
back. Eric, which of Santa's reindeer is named after another animal?
Might as well just say it, dude. Might as well just say it. You're gonna lose anyway. Why not go out in style?
Do it.
Do it. Do it. You know you want to.
Dancer.
Oh.
I'm not going to say it.
Vixen.
Yeah.
It's a fox.
It's a female.
A lady fox.
all
Lady
right.
fox.
All right. I should have.
Colin,
Hello.
who helps Santa Claus in making his gifts?
Elf 209.
The elves.
You are incorrect. It's the elves and Mrs. Claus.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He's just making stuff.
No, she's off in Miami collecting half of his pension.
Yeah, James caught it.
Yeah, James got it.
All right, next week we will be doing Love Actually.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that even a Christmas movie?
It is.
Yes.
That is
Christmas is all around us.
I thought it was about love, actually.
Right.
The feeling grows.
It's English Christmas, which means that it's all about finding some strange, just like Santa Claus and Ernest Saves Christmas.
Is it really a Christmas movie?
Yes,
Wait,
it is.
what?
It takes
is
place
it
around
is a Christmas
Christmas.
movie.
Am I the
and-
only person that hasn't seen this movie?
I haven't
Probably.
seen it.
Probably.
Apart
I
from
haven't seen
John.
it.
John, you haven't seen it, right?
I
Oh,
haven't
no,
seen it.
Colin hasn't.
Thank you.
Is
I
Colin
haven't-
going to be back?
Possibly.
I don't know, am I?
Yeah. Come back.
Well, you lose a point for that.
I already lost.
Yeah, but now you're tied with John.
Oh.
And that takes
I'm
special
negative one in the
effort.
bank for next week's game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Continuing our Christmas tradition, we're going to be watching Love Actually next week. Believe it or not, this has actually been a listener suggestion in the past. So we're finally getting around to it.
Not to be confused with the J.R.R. Tolkien spin-off Christmas special in which hobbits try to make friends with the citizens of Mordor, love Orctually.
That was really forced.
Yeah.
And you lose another point.
Long way to go.
Yeah, that was a long road.
The road to Mordor is a long
So
road.
knowing how our reviews usually go, we could really probably call this movie Hate Probably.
I don't think so.
I've heard it's pretty clever and pretty good. But
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious about this one because I have seen it when it originally came out, and when it originally came out, there were a couple elements. It's a vignette movie,
Yeah.
and there are a couple of elements within this movie that I really got behind. So I'm interested to see if those hold up because they probably won't. And I guarantee you that almost all of your love for this movie, audience, is pure nostalgia-driven schlock. So
from everything I've heard, sure. What I've heard about this movie, how you like it depends completely on what your personal experience with love at the time you watch it is.
Oh boy.
That's probably pretty accurate.
Okay.
Also, so you guys will have to remember this in case somehow I managed to forget. I actually have a story about this movie. So yeah,
nice,
sweet.
There you go.
We will remind you
for next week.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So it is Love Actually next week. Will we love it? Actually, who knows? Good night, everybody. A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say...
The one brought to you by ADD, Love Distractedly.
I thought that one was called Love. You want to ride bikes?